All right, we're here to pump you up before you take this test. So here we go. All right, I need you to make sure you have your calculator, make sure you have something to write with, and then get your book open to page 135, which is this ready to go on. All righty? And when you've got that set, then here we go. Ready? Otherwise, pause and then get your stuff and come back. It says find each unit rate. Okay, round to the nearest hundredth if necessary. Now, when we're talking, excuse me, about unit rates, that means it's a ratio comparing two numbers. The rate part means usually you have different labels, so different objects. Like here, we have dollars and square feet. Here we have pounds and dollars again. And so I want you to write it as this ratio or a fraction. And then to get the unit part, that means take the two numbers and divide them because a unit rate is always compared to 1. So here we go. Take your calculator. $140 over 18 square feet. Okay, that is a rate, but what I want you to do is take your calculator and now plug in 140 divided by 18. And notice you're going to get this big long decimal, all right? And my top number is dollars, so I'm going to write 7.7. Now here's the deal. Hundredths is this place here to the penny, basically, since it's money. And you have to always look at the next digit to round. And since it's a 7 and followed by another 7, we're going to round it to an 8. This for 1 square foot. I want you to write it this way with both numbers indicating that that denominator is a 1. Okay? Okay. Now, number 2, they're giving you pounds first for dollars. And I suppose we could divide it this way, but I'm going to write it as dollars per pound because that's usually the way we do it. We usually put money on top. If you didn't do that way, I want you to grab your pencil and fix it now. Okay? $2.99 divided by 14 pounds. Grab your handy dandy calculator. And I'm thinking to myself, this is probably close to about 20 cents a pound. So $2.99 divided by 14. All right, I get a big long one again, huh? 0.213. 0.2. Okay, hold on. So am I going to leave it at a 1 or round it up to 2? Well, since there was a 3 next door, which is less than 5, leave it there. So about 21 cents for 1 pound. Done. Now, 3 and 4, you're using that skill. Identify which one's the better deal. They said circle it. Well, first you have to calculate it. So take 56 divided by 25. Okay, that gives you $2.24. So we must be buying gas here. $2.24 for 1 gallon. Come over here and take $32.05 and divide that by 15. All right, I get 2.1 and then I get a 3, but notice what follows the 3 is a bunch of 6s. So this would round up to about $2.14 for 1 gallon. All right, now I'm on equal footing because I'm comparing how much per 1 gallon. This guy's cheaper. On the line, write $2.14 per 1 gallon. Okay? Same thing over here. $160 for 5 grams. Do that division. Then come over and take $315 for 9 grams and plug that in. Let's see, that's 3. I think you get 35 for 1 gallon or 1 gram. So this time, this is the cheaper one because it had a unit rate or a unit price of $32 per gram. Okay, that's what we did in section or lesson 1. Now, constant rates of change. Look at this table. The number of lawns and amount of money earned. Tyler earns this shows the amount of money that Tyler earns for mowing lawns. Is this relationship proportional? Why or why not? All right, so here's how we tell. When we got into section 3 down here, we were like, dude, is 0, 0 on there? Because then it's proportional. But I don't have that in here. Now, that doesn't mean it doesn't go through 0, 0. But taking a look at the information you've got, here's how you check. Is there one number that we designate calling K that's a constant multiplier of X? In other words, do I always take this same K number times X to get my Y? Okay. 1 times what gives you 15? 2 times what gives you 30? 3 times what gives you 48? 4 times what gives you 64? When in doubt, go ahead and take, this is like your input, the X value. This is your output, the Y value. Go ahead and make a ratio out of each of these pairs. So, but put the Y value on top. So take 15 over 1. Take 30 divided by 2. Take 48 over 3. And take 64 over 4. Do each of these give you the same unit rate? So look at this, use a calculator if you need to. This is 15. This equals 15. Oh, don't be Speedy Sally and assume now, because what's 48 over 3? That's 16. That's 16. So is this a proportional relationship? No, they aren't. You can say that the ratios are not equal, or the unit rates are not equal. Bummer. Okay. It happens. All right, look at number 6. This is a similar situation, but they're just giving it to you in words. And what I want you to do is, I'm going to get this out of the way now. What I want you to do is take a look at this, see if you can come up with the equation now. All right. So we are going to travel and we're going to transfer our United States dollars into European currency where they use the euro. All right. So on a day, a recent day, 8 euros were worth $9. 24 euros were worth $27. Write an equation of the form y equals kx to show the relationship of the number of euros and the value in dollars, where y equals the dollars, x is the euros. So here's the deal. I'm going to make a table first because I think if we see it this way, it makes more sense. The x is the euros and y is the United States dollars. 8 euros, $9. 24 euros, $27. Now, if I can come up with this relationship, that means it's proportional. They're assuming that is. So you need to take and make this fraction about converting dollars to euros. So $9 over 8 euros. Grab your calculator and figure out what that unit rate is. $27 to 24 euros. Grab your calculator and see if you get the same thing. Each time, hot diggity dog, you do. You actually get 1 1/8. Oops. Or 9/8. As a decimal, it looks like this. So your equation, this is your K number. So see how they wrote this equation? 1.125 times X. Done. Number 7. Here's a graph. It's talking about the servings from pints of frozen yogurt, okay? The graph shows the number of servings in different amounts of frozen yogurt listed on the carton. Write an equation that gives the number of servings, y, yep, this is the y-axis, in X pints. This is the x-axis. Now I'm going to tell you, I think it just makes sense to make a little table here. So right next to your graph, why don't you make an XY chart? Now, what we need to do, so I know 0, 0 is on here, but I need to find a point where it's hitting exactly. I think this spot hits exactly. 2 pints is the same as 5 servings. Then I keep going. That looks a little low. I think this looks like the next spot. 4 pints gives you 10 servings. All right. Now, here's the deal. In order for me to write the equation, I have to figure out what this K number is. It's Y equals some number times X. Now, can you look at the chart and figure out 2 times what number gives you 5? 4 times what number gives you 10? That one might not be as obvious, so then go ahead and make the ratio. Take the Y value, 5, over 2. Take the Y value, 10, over the X value, 4. What does it equal? Each time you should get 2.5 or 2.5. So here's your equation. Boom. Now number 8 is getting a little different. Okay, we're taking a different situation now, so I'm going to switch color. Now there's a refreshment stand, and it makes 2 large servings of frozen yogurt from 3 pints. Add this line to the graph and write the equation. I got to make a new table. XY. So it's saying if I have 3 pints, so I'm going over here to the 3, and then I get 2 servings. That's going to be that dot right there. Okay, X is my pints, 3 pints, 2 servings. Now, these relationships that are proportional go through 0, 0. So now connect these dots. Okay. What's the equation? We have to find the constant, the K number. What do you multiply 3 by in order to end up at 2? Now, I'm hoping your antenna are going off here like boop, 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 boop. Weird, weird. I multiply 3 by a number and I get something smaller? What? Psst. That means it's less than 1. All right. Come over here and figure out what that K value is by taking the Y value, 2, over the X value of 3. 2 over 3, that's 2/3. If you want to write it as a decimal, okay, that's 0.6 repeating. Okay. What that means is I get about 0.6 repeating, or 2/3 of a serving for every 1 pint of ice cream. So my equation, I added the line to the graph. Now I've got to write the equation. It's 0.6 repeating times X. There you go. Okay. Now, the equation stuff, table stuff is a little more challenging. When you have the picture and you're looking, I think that makes it a lot easier to understand. It said, how can you use rates to determine whether a situation is a proportional one? Well, I just said, if we had the graph, it's easy because I just look for 0, 0. If all I have are the rates, meaning these numbers, how can you tell if it's proportional? What do you have to notice? Your all rates must be equal to each other. If you get that to happen, then it's proportional. Then your graph will eventually go through the origin. Cool. All right. I don't know if I was blocking that with my big old head, so get that on there. Now flip to page 135. Similar questions. Some of these are multiple choice. I want to practice some good test taking skills on eliminating answers that don't make sense. The choices here. All right. Corey spent this much money on 12 gallons. What was the price per gallon? So you have to take this divided by 12. On your mark, set, go. Grab your calculator. You see $3.85. Do you see why they're putting A there? They're inverting the digits. That's way too big anyway. 385. Good. Number 2. Are you noticing some of these that were very similar online when I had you work on that? Yeah. The rabbit can run a short distance at a rate of 35 miles in 1 hour. All right. A fox can run short distances. I'm going to put fox over here. I'll put it right here. The fox runs a rate of 21 miles And right away, Speedy Sally's like, oh yeah, rabbit's faster. Per half hour. Oh. Hey, I think the fox is pretty fast because it's trying to outfox you right now. 21 divided by 1/2. Do that on your calculator. This is really the same as 42 miles per hour. Aha! Now, which animal's faster? Fox is faster. How much faster? Well, let's see here. First of all, it's not the rabbit. From 35 to 42, 7 to 40, it's 7. B. All right, number 3. When you read through this, it talks about a survey, and it's getting a ratio of dogs to cats that's 2/5. Sorry, this transferred a little weird here. Okay, dogs to cats, 2 dogs to 5 cats. Do you see that's the same on every one of your choices? It says which proportion shows the number of dogs if the number of cats is 140. So I have dogs to cats, dogs to cats. You should be able to look at your answer choices right now and throw them out without even looking at the numbers. Dogs to cats has to equal dogs to cats. Hey, that one is upside down. Can't be. Out of there. All right. The second thing I want you to zero in on here is that I want the cat's number to be 140. So 2 dogs to 5 cats. And on the right-hand side, you should see 140 cats. Choice A, no, that doesn't work. Both of these have 140 cats. Both of them have dogs to cats, dogs to cats. So grab your calculator. 2 to 5 is equal to 4/10 as a decimal. 28 over 140 or 56 over 140. Which one of those is equal to either the fraction 2/5 or turn it into the decimal 4/10? When you do each of these, you're going to find out. I think this one is 2/10. This is the one that's 4. Choose D. Number 4. What is the cost of 2 kilograms of flour if 3 kilograms of flour costs $4.86 and the unit price for each package of flour is the same? Well, let's figure this out. $4.86. Remember, I've always put the money on top when I'm shopping. This is for 3 kilograms. All right. So take and divide 486 by 3. That's going to give us our unit price. Okay. Our unit price looks to be $1.62. That's for 1 kilogram of flour. All right. I want to know how much does 2 cost. So double it. And you should get C, $3.24. Number 5, 1 gallon of paint covers 450 square feet. Okay, now really this is a unit rate in disguise. They're giving you the denominator first. So let's do this. You get 450 square feet for 1 gallon of paint. I want to know, what if I have 1.5 gallons of paint? Okay, what is this going to equal? Is it going to be 300, 451 and a half, 675, or 900? Now, newsflash here. If I got more paint, I'm going to cover more wall. So there's no way my choice could be 300 because that's smaller. This got bigger, so this has to get bigger because they're proportional. Okay. In fact, I have to get 1.5 times bigger. Okay. 1.5 times bigger. That's not just going to be adding 1.5. You have to multiply by 1.5. So go ahead and grab 450 and multiply by 1.5. You should get C. Okay. Cool. Next, look at number 6. Okay. This has a relationship of these values: days late and the fine that you're charged when you have library books out too long. Okay. I'm making a table with the values I've got. So squeeze it in right next here. Here is at 2 days late, because your X, your horizontal, these are the days. And this is the money. Okay. And so as you plug these in, 2 days gives you how much money? It looks like 50 cents. Okay. I can't pause this. Sorry. So just wait a second. 6 days gives me $1.50. And this last one is 10 days. And that is $2.50. Okay. Now, they want to know what's the equation. Well, you aren't going to be able to figure out the equation until you figure out what's the unit rate here. Okay. Yeah, it goes through zero, but what is the rate? What is the amount of money they are charging you for 1 day? So start checking each of these values where you take the Y value over the X value. You're going to take the money over the days. Okay, so take 50 cents, divide by 2. Take $1.50, divide by 6. Take $2.50 and divide by 10. Those should be exactly the same value each time. What do you get? Ding! 25 cents. So that means A is the equation. Cool. Now, I have to tell you, number 7, I got kind of messed up on the first time I was looking through this and working it out. So I want to really talk you through this one. School is 2 miles from home. 2 miles. That becomes important down here for B and C, okay? This table, or on a straight road, okay, whatever. The table shows your distance from home as you walk home from school at a constant rate, okay? Walking home from school. When I leave school, let's say here's school, and I'm walking towards home, it's a total of 2 miles, okay? And they're doing some checkpoints along the way, and they're asking, how far are you from home? The total is 2 miles, okay? So at 10 minutes, I'm on 1.5 miles from home. At 20 minutes, I'm 1 mile from home. At 30 minutes, I'm a half a mile from home. Here's the information. Is this relationship proportional? So what it's asking you is, when you make each of these ratios, y over x, y over x, y over x, do you get the same number each time? Build each of these fractions for me, will you? 1.5, because these are your y values. This is your x value, okay? 1.5 over 10. 1 over 20. 5/10 over 30. Calculate each of these guys for me, okay? Grab your calculator. 15 hundredths. 5 hundredths. And this one, I forgot off the top of my head because, frankly, I've been here at school about 12 hours today and my brain is dead. Okay, 5/10 divided by 30. Ooh, look at that one. We get 0.016 repeating. Well, here's what I need to tell you. Let me erase this big old goober out of here. Oh, sorry. What is happening is you're getting different values. I suppose I could have stopped right after these two and said, well, they're not the same. So that ain't happening. But it's all right. Is this proportional? No, it is not. If it were proportional, these would all be the same. Find your distance from school for each time in the table. Here's where I got messed up because I read too quickly. This is the distance from home. I want to make a new table that talks about your distance from school. Okay, so let's make a new table here for time. That's your x value. And y is going to be the distance from school. Okay, so we're going to use 10, 20, and 30 again, just like you did up here. But this time, if I'm 1.5 miles from home, so envision it, here's home, here's school. If I'm 1.5 miles from home, how far are you from school? That it should be a half a mile. At 20 minutes, I'm exactly 1 mile. That'd put you in the middle because you're 1 mile from home. How far are you from school? 1 mile. If you are a half a mile from home, I'm down here somewhere, half a mile from home. How far are you from school? 1.5 miles. All right, so that's part B. I found my distances from school. Now it says write an equation representing the relationship here in your time walking and the distance from school. Oh, so I need to be able to write this equation as y equals something times x, and I've got to figure out what that something is. 10 times what number, this k value, gives you 1/2. 20 times what number gives you 1. 30 times what number gives you 1.5. Psst, a newsflash, it's got to be small because you're plugging in a number like 10 and getting something tiny. Find your ratios of y over x. Here we go. You are going to take, let me bump this up here so we can see what we're doing. I want you to take your calculator and say, what is 5/10 divided by 10? What is 1 divided by 20? What is 1 5/10 divided by 30? What do you get? What do you get? What do you get? Use your calculator. You should get the same thing every time. Ta-da! This is proportional. This is your constant that you're going to put in front of x. There's your equation. Whew! That was a tough one. Be patient. Read the question. If it doesn't make sense, go on to something else, then come back. Sometimes that second pass makes more sense. You've got your fabulous tool of your calculator, and the most important tool is your brain. You're going to take the test now. Good luck, and may the force be with you.